Welcome back to the Base Talk podcast. I'm your host, Jacob Billingsley, owner and founder of Base Sports Performance in Hernando, Mississippi. In this episode, we discuss our college summer development program with our head performance specialist, Walker McCleney. All right. Welcome back to the podcast. So, as I mentioned today, we're talking about our college summer development program with our head performance specialist, Walker McCleney. Walker, welcome to the show, brother.
I'm glad to be here.
So, kind of talking about the college group, you've been here for the last 3 summers, and you've seen all 3 years of the college group. What type of athletes, what sports are we seeing? And then around what part of the year do they normally start coming in?
So the type of athletes that we mainly see is baseball athletes, but we do see a lot of different other sports. We have football, basketball, we'll have some soccer, we'll have volleyball, and that's females and males. So pretty much any athlete that's home during the summer that needs a place to train and needs a place to kind of develop their skills, get stronger, faster, whatever they need to do, we're kind of open for anybody. So we've had access with football, we've had access with multiple sports, volleyball, soccer, softball, pretty much you name the sport. And we can kind of make you a program, individualize it a little bit to fit your needs. So,
around what part of the year do we normally start seeing the majority of them start trickling in?
Like around in May, or early April sometimes. It depends on kind of when they get done with school and like all their finals and stuff like that. But we'll start having people reach out in April, kind of signing up already, kind of saying, "Hey, we're going to reserve a spot." Kind of, I want to train with y'all this summer. So end of April, kind of early May, and then kind of just reaching out through whoever to get our access, their phone number and all that stuff. So
sounds like a lot of them start reaching out maybe around towards like the middle of the season, maybe towards the end of their spring seasons if they're spring athletes. And then for the most part, the group normally gets picked up, maybe around early to mid-May. Does that sound pretty accurate?
Yeah, early mid-May.
Sweet. So from like a normal day in the life of a college athlete in one of these groups, let's just say, we've got a soccer player and a baseball player, for example. Are they coming in at the same times? Are they part of the same group? What does that kind of look like for them?
Yeah, so they'll be a part of the same group. Everything will run at the same exact time slot for everybody. But when they come in, like the pitchers will obviously have more of like soft tissue stuff around their shoulders to kind of keep their shoulders healthy and stuff. They might have more arm care exercises before the warm-up kind of starts. But for a soccer player, yeah, the same thing applies to them. Like that's why we take each individual athlete through an evaluation process so we can kind of see what athlete needs what, kind of what sport they play, what are they good at, what are they bad at. So we can kind of give them some corrective exercises. They'll come in, foam roll, do their soft tissue work. They'll do some warm-up exercises to get their body going. And then the day starts from there. But, yeah, the group stays all one group, no matter what sport or what gender, male or female, does not matter.
So when they come in, let's just say, for example, the group starts, 9:30, 10 o'clock, something like that. What does a normal day in the life look like? They come in and then they just get going on a warm-up, or what does that look like?
Yeah, so right when they step in the door, they will learn our foam roll routine, how we want it done. For example, if it's a baseball player who's tight in the lat area, we might foam roll a little bit longer, more soft tissue work in the lat. And then if it's the same thing, if it's a soccer player, volleyball player, whatever, they're tight in their hamstrings, it might take more time foam rolling their hamstrings and their lower legs or anything like that. But they come in, they start their soft tissue work. It's all programmed individually on their phone or through the app. And then once they get done with the foam roll, we do a warm-up together. So we'll take them through like a dynamic warm-up where we're getting the blood going a little bit. We're skipping and we're doing some kind of sprint mechanic work. And then after the dynamic, we'll go to some med balls. We do 3 or 4 med balls a week, like kind of different exercises on med balls. We have different variations we can do, but we'll start on the med balls just to get that lower body, like the power aspect of stuff, throwing something light. and then we'll go into a hurdle series, whether we're jumping or doing some bounds or doing some low level plyometrics to kind of build some ankle stiffness and kind of just get some tendon health, especially around the ankles, especially dealing with a lot of athletes. We got to be able to sprint, got to be able to change directions and stuff like that. So hurdles is a big thing we do here. And then after all that's done, we have 1 day or 2 days out of the week where we do linear sprint days, where we do lower body power, trying to get the sprint timers out and kind of see where we're at, track our progress through the summer. And then the other 2 days during the week, we'll do some change direction stuff, whether we're doing lateral change direction, linear change direction, does not matter what we do. It's just kind of building that change direction up a little bit, kind of just keeping their body healthy in the summer and kind of maintaining and building upon strength and speed and stuff like that. So that's kind of how the warm up and the hurdles and the med balls and like the group based warm up goes and stuff like that.
You mentioned they get individual correctives once they come in. They go through their, sound like they go through soft tissue, like a foam roll routine, and then they have like their individual correctives.
Yeah.
What are those individual correctives based on? Is that just based on what sport they play, or is that like based off of like something from an evaluation standpoint, or what does that look like?
Yeah, so it's all based off their initial evaluation with us when they first get here. Every athlete comes in, we'll retest them if they've been here before, or we will straight up do it if they've never done it before. Just to get them on the table, we'll test range of motion in their hips, range of motion in their shoulders. We'll test just thoracic spine mobility. We'll go through the whole 9 yards with them, see kind of what they are lacking, and then those corrective exercises are programmed into their program to kind of correct what they're lacking. So if it's a guy who lacks T-spine mobility, he'll have a lot of T-spine work, a lot of thoracic mobility work. If it's a girl with tight hamstrings, she'll have a lot of leg lowering exercises to kind of strengthen their hamstrings up, lengthen their hamstrings up a little bit more. And then same thing if it's a volleyball player with like knee pain or ankle pain, she might have a lot of iso holds on the knee joint or kind of ankle rocks, kind of get the ankle moving a little bit. So it does not matter what sports you play. We're going to give you an evaluation process, and that's how we kind of build the correctives to fix and to kind of build some strength up in what you are lacking.
So I know you mentioned in the beginning, obviously a lot of the athletes we see are baseball, but I remember, there's a ton of softball last year and the year before we had a lot of volleyball, because obviously that's kind of like preseason for volleyball with their seasons being in the fall. With those athletes coming in, with some of them being in like the postseason for like baseball and softball, and then some of them being like preseason for like volleyball and maybe football, are there different things that we train kind of like for that athlete, knowing that it's different parts of their seasons?
Yeah, I mean, we train that's why the communication and the evaluation process is kind of so big, because we can communicate with the athlete, hey, when's your season start? When is like a good timeline for you to have to go back? So we know we can kind of go ahead and prepare, hey, we're going to do this for month 1, you're here, and then month 2, when you're getting ready to go back, we pick it up and we kind of get your strength a little bit better. We kind of maintain you a little bit, and then we send you off kind of feeling good going back to school. Because our big thing is we don't want to get you in here and you play in 2 months and we kind of wear you down. You go and play and then you just kind of start spinning your wheels. We want to make sure we send our athletes back to where they're going feeling better than they left. So that's kind of our whole goal.
And then with the, a lot of baseball and some softball have like summer leagues that some of them will, go play in, or they'll go move somewhere else and play summer ball. And obviously we kind of get a lot of those pitchers that decide not to play summer ball, or maybe, they come home early from summer ball and they decide to come to us. What would be like the reason that they would stay here and train with us over the summer as opposed to going to summer ball somewhere else?
Yeah, well, the biggest thing, and I know you played summer ball too. When I played summer ball, like, it's great to get at bats and stuff, but I didn't have the chance to develop. The biggest thing that I think we're providing is, yes, you're going to get live ABs, you're going to face a lot of guys, pitchers are going to face a lot of hitters. But the biggest thing is that development stuff we do in the weight room. That's why I think coming in here, kind of developing what you like, getting more development, getting stronger, getting more efficient in your movement. That's going to help you in the long run, other than just going out there and going to play games, because it is a lot of games in the summer. So it's a drag. But if you really want to hammer the development side of things, I feel like it needs to be done in the weight room, and it needs to be done on a consistent basis. And playing summer ball, you just can't get that consistency because you're playing so much.
With some of these pitchers, obviously, I run the majority of the pitchers, but I kind of want to hear your input just coming from the weight room side. Let's just say we've got some of these athletes that are physically developed, and maybe they're juniors or even seniors in college, and they've gone through 3 to 4 years of quality weight room time, and they have some decent weight room experience, and they're physically developed. An argument for them to go to summer ball may be, I need to go get some innings in. Within our live at bats, I know we kind of do live at bats, obviously with the pitchers, with the hitters. Do you see a decent correlation as far as like innings as well as live at bats? So obviously you kind of hit on the weight room piece is really big because it's really difficult to get quality weight room in summer ball. But with them being here and kind of needing a little bit more of the skill aspect, what are your thoughts on the live at bats that they get, and what's kind of been the quality of the live at bats that we've been able to give over the summer?
Oh, the quality of the live at bats are huge. I mean, we get the TrackMan set up. We get a lot of data that summer ball teams are just not able to do. And there's probably 10 to 12 pitchers in that one thing, so they're going to get a lot of innings. So innings is not going to be the issue there. And we do them. I think we did them twice a week last year. So we'll have. I mean, they're definitely going to hit their innings. They're definitely going to get their more and like more data and stuff like that with the TrackMan, kind of see where we're at, and then see if they're looking on developing more of a pitch shape, whatever, we can track that with the TrackMan and stuff like that. So I think the quality of the live at bats is big time. I think just getting them in here, getting them access to facing hitters, and it builds competition with them, so they're getting some competition in there, so it's fueling that aspect of things. So, but yeah, I think the quality of the live at bats is big. I think it's huge.
I know we had a lot of guys last summer that made big jumps in velocity, and a few of those might have been guys that we were kind of helping rehab back from maybe a minor injury early in the summer, and then towards the end of the summer we built them up enough to get on the mound and start seeing some pretty big velocity gains, through those live at bats. So, the live at bats is one thing that I kind of want to discuss a little bit more with, like you mentioned, the quality of it. And then the big thing that I see with those live ABs and why that is so valuable is, let's just say we are a guy that, got a ton of innings in the spring, and we don't necessarily need to throw a ton of innings in the summer, but we still want to get a few. Them being here, we can kind of put a pitch cap on it, and once they get to that pitch cap, we cut it off, right? And when you're in summer ball, you might get to your pitch count, and it might be an 0-2 count with, bases loaded, and you're probably not getting pulled out of that scenario. So, you might go another 10 or 15 pitches just because you're in an inning standpoint, in a competitive environment on a game, as opposed to in live AB. So, that's kind of one of the things that I see valuable from the live AB setting, is that we can set a plan from volume and intensity and kind of stick to it. That way, we're not really overdoing it with the guys that don't need as many innings. But on the flip side, we can kind of give the guys that didn't get as many innings in the spring, that need more innings in the summer, a lot more time to get those innings in, as well as the physical development.
Yeah.
So kind of moving forward, just again, you've been here 3 summers straight, and just in those 3 summers, and in your experience and in your opinion, what type of athlete normally sees the most growth and has the most success over the summers?
Yeah, I think the athlete that see the most growth is obviously the one that's consistent. The one that comes in and is consistent, what we tell them, is bought in on everything. That's going to be the athlete, and that's going to see the most progress with anything. Because just like with anything you do in life, whatever it is, if you're consistent with it, you're going to start seeing a lot of results with it. But the biggest thing too is, I think the younger athletes, like the lower class guys, like the freshman, the sophomore, The ones that kind of are still in that development stage or still figuring out what they are and like filling out their body and stuff like that. Just those younger ones, those lower class, like the freshman and the sophomore, the kids that don't play a lot, see a lot of progress. And then those lower schools like the JUCOs, the D2s, or even the D3 schools, the kids that don't really have a lot of experience in the weight room a lot, because obviously the JUCO level, they don't have the access to equipment, they don't have a lot of access to a good nice weight room. So just those athletes that need a lot more development in that college environment see a lot of progress when they get in here.
Yeah, you mentioned those maybe younger guys, or maybe even just like the less the less physically developed guys and girls, the ones that just need that physical development. What's some of the progress that we've seen? So, some of it could be, a strength standpoint, some of it could be like a speed standpoint, maybe with the pitchers it's like a velocity standpoint, but what are kind of the big jumps in just these physical things that we're training? What's some of the big jumps that you've seen?
I think the biggest thing that we see is just overall power and straight lower body power and even like upper body power. But when we look at power, we obviously do a lot of jumping, we do a lot of sprinting, so we track that. I think from my experience here and the 3 years I've been a part of it, I think everybody that we've seen come in here has increased their power numbers every time they train with us in the summer. And that goes from the sprint timers. Everybody's gotten faster. Everybody's jumping higher. Everybody's getting a lot stronger, a lot just overall more athletic. And I think that's where they see a lot of progress, because a lot of people don't train power at school. They're just trying to, hey, put that ball on your back and go squat it. But I think the power numbers that we see increase big time when they get in here through the summer.
Do you think the increase in power like that, do you think that is a direct correlation towards just better play time and just getting more reps and more innings and more playing time on the court or the field?
Oh yeah, it's big. Just being overall more powerful is going to get you playing a lot more innings. It's going to get you throwing a lot harder. It's going to get you jumping a lot higher. It's going to get you running a lot faster. You look at the best athletes on whatever sport you're playing, it's usually your most powerful athletes, whether you're jumping higher, running faster. The just overall power in sport is going to kind of translate huge when you get out there and start doing what you do.
Kind of spending a little bit more time on maybe these younger, like freshman, sophomore, maybe even some of these junior pitchers primarily that are in our throwing program. Once we get these guys, and let's say, just as an example, we get a guy that's maybe 82, 84, hits an 85 or an 86. Instead of going to summer ball, he comes and spends, 8 to 10 weeks here from a physical development standpoint. Going from 82 to 85 to 85 to 88 is a huge jump, and something that is definitely going to benefit that athlete way more than going and getting 20, 30, 40 innings in the summer, right? Because if they just go get those innings, yes, they're getting more experience on the mound, which obviously is going to help them, but going from 82 to 84 to 86, 88 is a complete and total game changer, from a summer standpoint. And that's something that definitely is going to help guys reach the next level, is the actual ability to the actual capacity to throw harder and the capacity to run faster and things like that. So, spending summers here from those guys that, need some more physical development could be an absolute career changer for some of them. And then one more thing I want to mention, a lot of the athletes, as we start to talk to them in the summer and we kind of start to pick their brains and see what makes them tick, a lot of them really have that chip on their shoulder. A lot of them are those athletes that maybe didn't get the playing time that they wanted the year before, and they're really using that summertime to develop themselves to get a lot more innings than they really want to give themselves a chance to impress their coaches and their teammates in the fall, when they return. And we've had several college athletes that have texted us, after they've gotten back to college in August that have said, my coaches and my teammates can't believe, the gains that we made over the summer, both from a physical standpoint, a strength standpoint, maybe it's just a skill. But investing that time and development in yourself as an athlete, especially at the collegiate level, is going to completely help game change your career and can change the trajectory. Anything else, like if there's someone that was wanting to join this college group, but they were kind of on the fence, just from you, again, being here these last 3 years and seeing the success, what would you tell them?
I would tell them it's a no-brainer to come train with us. I mean, the biggest thing, like if I put myself in their shoes when I was in college, and yeah, I was a hitter and I was trying to get more ABs and doing all the stuff. But from a developmental stage of things, if I had access to something like this when I was going through college, it would have been a game changer for me. If the biggest thing is what we provide is something that you can follow consistently. And if you're just going to look up on Instagram, you get like a random program sent to you from a coach. Like, yeah, you're going to do it, but you have to hold yourself accountable for it. But when we have 20 guys in here that all are chasing the same goal, they all want to jump higher, they all want to sprint faster, they all want to throw harder, it kind of builds a good competitive environment. And getting around that type of environment is going to obviously push you more as an athlete, as an individual. So I think it's a no-brainer. I think the biggest thing is just having something you can follow consistently when you come in here. And you know that you're not guessing anymore. Like you have somebody that's sat down with you, that's evaluated you, told you what you're bad at, told you what you're good at. This is how we're going to fix it. All you got to do is follow this, answer it. Have any questions that you need, we'll answer it. But that's the biggest thing, is just fully trust us as coaches, and kind of goes back to just being consistent with your training. If you really want it, this is the place to kind of maximize your potential.
Really sounds like it's somewhere, obviously that you can get around athletes that have that same goal and are looking to play at the next level, and aren't just looking just to have a good summer. And that's obviously part of it, but really just trying to take the time and invest in themselves and really put themselves in a situation to where they can, take advantage of the summer and get ready for that next year. So if someone was interested in joining the college summer program coming up, where would you send them? Where do they need to reach out?
Yeah, you can follow us on Instagram. You can reach out through our Instagram. There's a link there. You'll see our website there. Obviously, our phone number's on there. Our email is on there. Send out an email, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Kind of fill in your spot in that. But yeah, I think Instagram. Everybody's got Instagram. Follow us on that. That link's in there, so you'll be on our website and you'll just scroll down and hit contact us at the very bottom of the screen. But I think that's the best way to probably go about contacting and stuff like that.
Awesome. So again, if you're a college athlete looking to take advantage of the summer and want to get in with us, get in on a development program with us over the summer, shoot us a message, shoot us an email, phone call, whatever it is, and we'll get you set up. So, Walt, thanks for joining us today. Obviously, I wanted to kind of get you on here to talk about it because this is definitely one of the big programs that we run over the summer that we see the most success and progress over. So thanks for joining today for this one.
Oh, yeah, thank you. I'm excited about it.
Appreciate it.